The M60A1 RISE P is a tank that is really good looking. It has reactive armor platings that do their job, and it has an L7 gun that I actually pretty like because it has a very powerful AP FSD shell. However, the tank is not bad, but everything around it makes it look very bad indeed. Today's video is sponsored by the Free Eagles app for War Thunder. Download the app in the video description below and use the code shown on screen to get 10 golden eagles right now. So again, welcome back to War Thunder and welcome aboard the M60A1 RISE P. And P stands for passive, and you really should be passive in this tank, because the second you move there is always somebody that does this. Thank you very much. I really was that frustrated that I hoped that this shot would blow my tank up. You see, the battle that I show you in the background is the most successful battle that I had in the entire day. Not just with this tank, but the entire day with any tank. And I had absolutely no fun playing anything. And I avoided specifically two tanks that I didn't want to play because I'm kind of disgusted with them. And I'm talking here about the MBT-70 because I do not have it, but I also want to mention it because it's practically the same tank that is the Kampfpanzer-70. Yes, a German tank that I'm disgusting with because it's too good, in my opinion, at the current state and time, and because of other issues. None of them are actually related to the M60A1 RISE P directly. And you might be a little bit surprised and confused at this point in time what I'm actually trying to say. Okay, in a very condensed form, I want to say this. I don't have fun playing those tanks. It's not a challenge to play them, it's a complete mess what I experience. Now, I have a little bit avoided trying top tier at all up until the point that there was the change, because it was just too expensive for me. I didn't see any point of playing it. I had the vehicles and that's it for me, okay? Why should I play them? For fun? Yeah, but there is none for me. And then there are also the economy changes that then happened and the battle rating adjustments. And they made everything at first look better, but it's completely pointless to a certain degree for certain vehicles and not hurting any, other vehicles. And then there are the economy changes, which are justified to a certain degree and somewhat bad in others. The one point that I really liked was the repair cost drop for the top tier tanks, and at first glance that seemed really good. Okay, now I can take out the vehicle and not get bankrupt. Okay, that's not, you know, a thought that I have, but even I lost massive amounts of money in terms of civil lines. Massive amounts. Not like, you know, I get shot down in the R2Y2 every third battle, but then I made overall a profit of 200,000 civil lines because I survived the other two battles and cleaned up like 5 kills. Same with the tier 4. Completely pointless to bump up the repair cost to 45,000 for a stock plane and 60,000 for the upgraded if you never die and if you still bomb out the enemy's base. Especially when you team up with 2 or 3 other tier 4 players that know what you're doing. And then, for example, the battle rating changes, in particular for the Germans, are pointless. Because what does it make sense if the IS-6 gets up tiered to 7.3 when it still can face the German 6.7 lineup, and when it meets it in every single battle? That was my experience. And when you are top tier, you're the only top tier in one top tier tank, and the enemy team is full of tanks at your battle rating, and when you get killed, then you know, then American 6.7 feasts on German 5.7. That's my experience. It's not fun. I don't like it. I'm sorry if you like it and think this is balanced, and what I'm really annoyed is about people that say the following: "Oh, Napalm, don't complain about the Tiger 2 because it had its seal clubbing time, and I'm, you know, somewhat okay with it not getting seal clubbed for this and this time. It's not even enough because I got seal clubbed so much. So it's okay to disfavor one nation because it, in your opinion, was favored the time before." That's not how balancing works. If there was an issue before, it was not the player's fault. And I always was not somebody that played the flavor of the month. Maybe to a certain degree to know what people are talking about, but yeah. By the way, look at this lag spike. That's my internet as of late. It kicks the tank sideways. I get the kill cam, and now just comes the message in. But that was not really the issue that I had in the last few days. That was my smallest problem. So what I wanted to tell you right now, at everything that is 8.0 or above gets automatically, always, at least when I played it, up-tiered into 9.0. And at 9.0 there are 3 tanks. No, I'm sorry, there are 2 tanks that absolutely dominate everything. The Kampfpanzersipzig and the MBT-70. That was my ace, by the way, on tanks. Most of the tanks were, you know, not the T-64A. So while I got 5 kills, I'm not satisfied with it because, again, I'm really grumpy at this point, if you haven't noticed. But I had to make this video because everything else would have been a blank lie. I cannot advertise top tier at the moment because it's a complete mess. And how tier 6 was implemented overall is very bad handled at the hands of Gaijin. It was not just with the first implementation, it's also now this battle rating change that absolutely changed not a lot, to be honest. I get up tiered all the time. In 80% of the battles that I play, I'm fully up tiered. 10% just a little bit up tiered, except with the KP M47, because it has this weird battle rating that I talked about in the last tank review. And which is one of the reasons why I cannot fully recommend it, but it wouldn't make a real difference anyway. But I'm practically paying for the rest of my team losing. I hope Gaijin somehow fixes it, because even I have no clue how to deal with that at the moment, how to fix it, because it's completely broken. And yeah, sure, there are people that are playing the KP set or MBT-70, and for them the world is fine, you know. Hell, even the T-64 has a good time, but for one reason and one reason only, and that's another point that I highly dislike. Because it separates tanks, how they will perform against it, into if they are stock and then they have troubles dealing with it, or they are fully upgraded and have a very good chance against the T-64A. Or you completely catch them off guard in late game scenarios. And between the T-64 or some of the Russian top tier tanks and the German Kampfpanzersipzig or the American version is the rest of War Thunder from 8.0 and above, which gets up tiered all the time. At least I had not a single battle where I was not completely up tiered in when I was playing something at 8.0 or above. I mean, I played even the Striker, and I know that the Striker is not a very nice tank to play. Hell, it's outright so hilariously bad. It's funny, but that's kind of the tank design. With the M60A1 RISE P, I think I should from time to time also be top tier. Maybe sometimes. I never was. And you know, this is the performance of a fully upgraded M60A1 RISE P with the AP-FSD shell, which is actually something that I like. So let's talk about the M60A1 RISE P for a moment. I know the entire video is showing the tank, but I'm sorry about this. I like the look of the tank. I like how it actually handles. And I also like the gun. For the first time, this is a bloody L7 gun that I kind of like because of the ammunition. And I'm not talking about the heat, which I actually have never used so far. This is kind of the glorious time of APFSDS. This tank has it, so it performs really good. And yeah, I will also check out the Type 74 soon, because it also got a very similar shell. So all in all, it's a complete mess, and somewhat I want to figure out how to really make it work. And you could see how stationary I was, how patient I played, how defensive I played, how I took my time to aim, and the 1 second in the beginning where I pushed, I was immediately punished, immediately, and I was very lucky to actually survive. And this is, again, by far the most successful battle that I had the entire day. Again, I'm back at that stage where I say, top tier, thanks, not for me, it's not fun. It's not challenging, it's a complete mess. And I'm pretty sure I would have some issues when I would play my KPZ/MBT70, especially when they're stock. But when they're fully upgraded, it's just who is faster with aiming. Armor is not very important, and it's having such a ridiculous amount of mobility that it should be really 10.0 in terms of battle rating. Or is it just me? Am I the only one? Am I such a bad player? Have I lost so much skill? I don't know. Yeah, I'm really not happy. I'm not satisfied even with this okayish battle, I guess. 7 kills and a survivor is a good result, don't get me wrong. But I'm feeling like, yeah, the stars just arranged themselves. I had a lot of luck. At least I got a survivor. Yeah, that's something that I appreciate. But I still was second in team because this KPZ captured 2 points, got an ace and a plane as well. Yeah, that's it for me today. You can see I made a lot of profit in this battle because the APFSDS shell is not that expensive. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the battlefields of War Thunder.